For what it's worth, this was actually a really, really good episode of AEW Dynamite. Technically, the go home show of AEW Dynamite before Blood and Guts, and even the go home show before the Owen Cup finals for both the men and the women this Saturday. We kicked the show off with Commander versus Chris Jericho. This was actually a really good opener. The ending was kind of botchy, I know, but especially when they when Commander did that big move and Jericho hit him with the code breaker. But outside of that, I mean, he was able to, tap him out, and I liked how they did that. How Commander did this nice little move on Jericho. Jericho countered into the walls. He tapped out, and Jericho won. But Don Callis once again coming out and offering his service. Well, him and basically pleading to Jericho like we should team up. Going back and offering footage of them back in the day, back when Don Callis actually had hair, and obviously we're still playing into that factor because Jericho still hasn't made up his mind. He still hasn't made his decision. Jake Hager came in later on in the show, and was like, Jericho, like, are you really doing this? Are you really going to do this? Like, after everything we've been through, like, I sacrificed my MMA career. I saved you in Abu Dhabi, and is this how we're really going to do it? And Jericho was like, I just got to think about it, man. I got to think about it. Next, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin. They took on Sammy and Daniel Garcia, and solid match, solid tag team match. I thought Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, they honestly could have won here. It's just that the reason why they didn't because Swerve got involved because he attacked Darby. He came out of nowhere, and Sammy and Garcia were able to pick up the win. So Orange Cassidy and Darby, I feel like if Swerve didn't get involved, they could have easily won this match. But because of Swerve's interference, they didn't. So it sucks, but like Jericho said, Sammy and Garcia, they gotta build themselves up, especially now that Jericho looks like he might not be with them very much longer. Um, we had another tag team match play. Obviously, the blind eliminator tag team tournament. MJF, Adam Cole versus Brian Cage and Big Bill. I gotta say these promo, well, not these promo packages, but these little segments that MJF and Adam Cole have been doing. 1 week they're at the gym, now they're doing this. I gotta say they're pretty funny. Like they're pretty funny. MJF, I know he's a bad guy, but when he's not doing the devil gimmick, he's a funny guy, and you could somewhat say he comes off as, I guess, relatable to the point that, dang, for someone who is so dastard as a heel, he would honestly make such a good babyface. You know what I'm saying? But time will tell if they do that. But like I said in Rampage, I knew Brian Cage and Big Bill weren't gonna win. Like everybody and their mama knew MJF and Cole were gonna win. But I thought it was a good tag team match, though. But everybody knew MJF and Cole were winning. Like, they're going to the finals. Like, come on now. Um, Next was Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue. I got to say, Sky Blue, she has been putting on a really good performance, and I thought tonight her performance against Ruby Soho was really good. Even though she did not win the match, they got to have Ruby. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. No offense to Atheno, Willow, Nightingale. They gotta have Ruby Soho win this one, right? Because, like, there's no way you have Ruby lose 2 straight years in a row. Like, come on, like, come on. But yeah, for what it's worth, I thought their match was actually pretty solid, pretty solid. Swerve Strickland took on the official in-ring debut of Nick Wayne. This is the latest internet sensation to take over. Um, Fun fact, y'all, Nick Wayne's actually 1 year younger than I am because he's 18. They actually stated on commentary that he just turned 18, I think, like last week. His mom was in the crowd, and Nick Wayne, he did lose his match, rightfully so. I mean, he wasn't going to win in his debut, specifically against a rising guy in Swerve Strickland. But I liked how they did this match. I feel like Nick Wayne still got over, even though he lost. He didn't get buried like typical people would say. And him and Swerve actually had a really good match. Nick Wayne, obviously, the fact that he's 18 years old, he's doing this, I think, what they said, he's been doing this, he started training like, 15 or something, so he's been doing this for quite a while, and respect to anybody who steps in that wrestling ring, especially at a young age like that. So hopefully Nick Wayne is able to do good stuff in this company, and he's able to help, hopefully, financially support his family as well. Now we get to the main segment of the night, the Blood and Guts match, and we, who's the missing, or who's the fifth member of each team. PAC made his return, and he attacked Kenny. He was like, Kenny, is a long time coming. Like, come on now, like, you and your mother, everybody knew this was happening. And Moxie was like, all right, Kenny, so before PAC squashes your face in, like, any last words? And he's like, yeah, dude, like, our fifth member, look at the screen, and it's KOTO Ibushi. And this is something that's been rumored for quite a while now. KOTO Ibushi coming to AEW, obviously since his relations with New Japan came to an end. It's been rumored he was going to show up. It was rumored he was going to be the fifth member. So the Golden Elite are officially back together. And honestly, to see KOTO Ibushi and Kenny back after so many, well, not so many years, but y'all know they, you know, somewhat so many years of being apart from one another. I gotta say, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, really good ending. This is a really good episode of AEW Dynamite, and yeah, there's really nothing more that could be said. So, I hope y'all enjoyed my AEW Dynamite review, and yeah.